What's up, Scrappy peeps? It's Adele from Inkie Quill, and I have a Scrap Stash Saturday video for you. Even though I'm uploading this on a Friday, I created the Scrap Stash Saturday video years ago when I used to upload on a Saturday, and now I've changed to uploading on a Friday. So we're keeping the name, and we're just going to pretend we don't know what the day is at the moment with everything going on. I don't know about you guys, but the days are kind of melding into one a little bit. Well, I just had to pause the recording to go hide in Archie's room at the back of the house because my neighbour's doing a bit of isolation renovation and it is very noisy and has continued for weeks. I'm ready for it to be done. But let's get on to the video. I started off with this beautiful scripty paper and I wanted to calm it down just a little bit because the writing is, although it's only black and white or navy and white possibly, it's quite a busy background paper, and I wanted, when I layer patterns on patterns, if I'm layering multiple patterns on a single background piece, I kind of like the background to not be too busy. So I've sped this bit up quite fast, but I went through my scrap paper drawer and I just picked out a whole heap of blue papers. And the reason I picked blue is because they're both wearing blue and I thought it was a good colour to go with. I also picked out some turquoisey, minty tones and then just some neutral black and whites or blue and whites just to balance it all off. And this is such a great page if you are using up some paper scraps or if you've got a 6x6 paper pad and you want to get rid of some of the little offcuts that you've got because all of the papers coordinate. You don't have to do it monochromatically like I've done here using all the same colour, all the blues. You can use lots of different colours. It's completely up to you, but it's a really great way to use up those tiny little bits of paper that aren't big enough by any means to mat a photo, but they're the perfect size just to chop up and use, kind of make your own background paper in a way. Now I am, if you've watched my videos for a while, you will know that I am a sticker and a plonker. I don't have it in me to place all of the papers out first before gluing them down. And I do envy the people that can do that because it would lead to a lot less frustration with me with putting things where I didn't want them to go. So what I'm doing is I started off with some of the bigger pieces and I made sure to space out the pattern. So I'm going pattern by pattern. So you can see there I just stuck down my 3 pieces of that blue, what's that pattern? It's kind of like a plaid, a diagonal plaid pattern. And then I'm going through and just finishing off these tiny little bits. And I'm also trying to mix my colours up. So I had a couple that were in the dark blue family. And then I also had a couple that were more minty turquoise. And I'm just spreading them out so that there's not too many of the same colour overlapping each other. I also tried to keep in mind where on earth my title was going to go and some journaling. And I think it is important if you are someone who likes to put a title on your pages to keep that in mind if you're doing something like this, because you can get to the end and then have nowhere to put your title, which I have been guilty of many a time. And I have tried to learn my lesson and I finally have in this layout. It took me a long time though. I felt like the paper little layers just needed extra something, so off camera I just doodled around the edges with my white Uniball Signo broad gel pen, and then I cut a couple of black and white spotty tissue paper squares and attached those with my glue stick because the tissue paper would definitely show the double-sided tape if I stuck it down with that, and the glue stick almost makes the tissue paper melt into the background, and so you can just see the spots, and I really like the way that looks. And I did 3 because 3 is a magic number in scrapbooking. It just makes things look more balanced overall. So I stuck down my picture and I did use a lot of tape, as you can see back there. And if you're new to my videos, hi, my name's Adele and I am a adhesive obsessor. I use way too much adhesive, but it's just because of my Aussie climate. And I do feel like I need to say this every now and then, because I do get new subscribers who message me and say, why do you use so much adhesive? It is because of the climate I live in. Very damp houses, and our summers can get up to 45 degrees and things just fall off. I was going through an old scrapbook album just after we moved house, and I have to go back and stick a lot of the things. This is before I started over adhering things. I have a bit of trouble sometimes with white thickers and alphas and word stickers. And so when I can use them, I try to, just so they don't sit around in my stash for too long. And I grabbed this Love This and stuck that down over the photo. And I think it's really nice to have it up there and not over the top of the paper scraps, because the pattern paper was a little bit chaotic. It was a little bit busy. And so by placing it over the photo, it just kind of calms it down a little bit and doesn't make things too crazy. So then I'm trying to figure out where to put all of my little words, and I'm trying to keep a bit of a diagonal across the page. So from that top left corner down to the bottom right corner, and I'm going through my bits and bobs and seeing anything that's bluish, or basically anything that wasn't a rectangle. I just needed to shake it up a little bit. I already had so many rectangles down there with the pattern paper that I needed a few bold, big shapes to contrast those. So I grabbed those chipboard hearts, and then this enjoy the little things down here is, what are those called? It's a spike. I call it a spiky circle, but I'm sure it's got a proper name. Is it a rotary something? It's like a prize ribbon, you know, when you have a circle and it's got all of the little spikes. If there's a proper name for that, let me know, please. Also trying to go through some of my enamel dots, because I have a vast collection of enamel dots, and there's a lot of sheets like this one that have less than 10 left on the packet. And instead of using up what I've got, I often open up a new pack. So I'm really trying to use up my stash. I have been busy stash busting. I would say for the past year and a half, I've really dived in deep. Don't get me wrong, I have also bought a lot of other things as well, but I'm trying to use my old stuff and keeping half-used sticker sheets and things on my desk in sight so I can reach for them first before I reach for the new goodies. So then I'm still going through and figuring out what to do, and you guys know me. I can't go past a heart. I love to stick them on anything and everything. I'm trying to figure out journaling, where to do it, if to do it, or if not. I stuck down one of these. This is one of my Patreon printables from, I think it's from last year actually, and it was one of the favourite ones that I have done. I really need to print off some more of them because I've used them all up. And I decided to just put my journaling on this teeny tiny little label over here. There wasn't a lot to journal about this photo, but I did want to just write down a couple of thoughts so that when I flicked back through my albums, I had that to look back on. And then, of course, I need to add some little glittery bits and pieces. I do get a lot of questions about the punch that I use to punch these little stars and hearts. I use the Fiskars handheld punches that I bought from Officeworks, I do believe, and they're really, really handy and give you the most delicious little glittery stars and hearts. Well, if you use glitter cardstock, they give you glittery hearts and stars, but they're just a tiny, perfect little size, and they're good for if you are trying to be a little bit more economical and save on buying scrapbooking goodies. They just give you the feel of enamel dots or the little sprinkly final details without having to purchase new things every time. Adding some Heidi Shining on everything around me. I think I got a bit of Heidi Shine on my iPad, which is standing up behind my layout. And this page is done. Now, peeps, don't forget, June is going to be a big month. It's the Inkie June Marathon. starts on the 1st of June over on this channel, on my Inkie Quill channel, and there will be a video uploaded every single day throughout June, alternating between this channel and my second channel, Let's Get Inkie. There will also be a live stream. I don't know if I've announced that date at the point of recording this voiceover, but stay tuned. Keep an eye on my Instagram and on my Facebook page if you want to stay up to date with what's happening. All right, guys, I'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.